we're finally coming back up live here online. So once again, take two. Hey, friends, welcome to Lions Live, the only network put by the players to the fans. My name's Skip Dreibelbis, along with Yaacov Yisrael, along with Dan the Fan here tonight. Big dude Stephen Davis is off talking about Penn State football here. 2 games left. Talking to you on the only network built by the players for the fans. So what makes that unique, folks? We're the actually only network out there that was started by the players, hosted by the players, done by the players, to give you a unique perspective of Penn State football here from the guys who played Penn State football. So we're glad to do that here tonight. Yaakov's out here on the road, and he's calling in here with us. And also I just heard Dan the Fan here ring in, and we'll give a little bit of recap here of last week's game. Well, actually, we were off last week, and we can talk a little bit what happens during a bye week. Give a little recap from Penn State's last game, and I'll also talk to you, give a heads up coming up here for Penn State's final home game here against Michigan. Welcome, everybody here, and Yaacov, I think I've earned a sub back from you guys here on my pick from the week before. I think I was pretty close in that one. I got this one right that time.
I was thinking about this, Skip. I was thinking about this. I have to go home to Chicago that week. So I was thinking about you, and I hated to see it, but you were right. And it came down in the last like couple minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it did.
So you didn't really become right until the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter.
Well, and listen, man, I wanted to see us win. I really did. And I thought I love giving you guys a sub, man. That's great.
I'm just teasing.
Oh, I know that. Stefan always says, "Hey, man, you always keep it real," and I try to soberly look at what's going on out here and give you my 2 cents worth for what little that is worth, maybe 2 cents. But but it was a good game. It's a hard fought out game, and it came down to the end again like that, where I just kind of figured, man, Penn State may just not pull it out. And again, Penn State's away, and I think that they just got that little bit of an edge being at home there at Northwestern, and they had that edge over us. But I'll tell you, Penn State played some great football. It was a good game.
Definitely. Is Dan the Fan on the line?
I think Dan the Fan.
I am, sir. How are you? I'm doing good. How you doing, Dan? I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Good.
He sent a message here tonight.
We like your energy, Dan.
Well, we do, and it's kind of cool. He sent me this message here on Facebook last minute. I'm like, yeah, man, you must got something on your mind, Dan. So tell us, what's happening on the fan side of things here with Penn State football?
Well, enjoyed the great last game away and stuff like that. I wish we could pull off the win and everything, but we have the Michigan game to look forward to. I know Yaacov spent my birthday down in King of Prussia, but this weekend it's my girlfriend's birthday. What better way to spend it than at Penn State at a whiteout game?
What a date. Dan, you're a very thoughtful, considerate man. I'm sure you're going to take her out for dinner or something special right afterwards.
Yeah, your house, brother.
Hey, well, I'm actually having some guests come up this weekend. I got a couple tickets for some friends. And I'm not sure if some other guys from my former teammates are coming back here this weekend or not yet. We're still trying to nail down plans. It kind of works like that, Dan. A lot of guys, and Yaacov knows this, we have lives after Penn State football. And that's the great part about Penn State football is we're prepared for that, and we knew that coming here. And that's the byproduct of this. Penn State football is our life while we're here. But afterwards, we have busy lives, and we got things to do. And it's a huge commitment to make, even to try to come together and put together a program like we do with this. But we're thankful for that opportunity. Magnum Broadcasting here had a great idea, and they saw our thoughts about this idea of a player-only hosted network where it's nothing but players talking about Penn State football and what makes it great. And they allowed us to do this. So, me and a few of the other guys started this thing out. We've been keeping it going since. Yaakov's a generation or so away, and there's other younger guys here. We have on this coming Lord's Day, we have a luncheon with the seniors who are graduating to welcome them into the fraternal family of Penn State former players, the former Nittany Lions Club, and we're going to be having a lunch with them. And we're going to open that up to them and say, hey, you guys, anytime you're going to come in here, you want to host a show like this, this is a great opportunity for you to tell your story. And this is what's really cool about Lions Live and the Forever Lions Network. So, you never know what's going to happen on a weekend. You don't know who's coming in because something comes up with family, your work, who knows. But, I look forward to catching anybody who comes back here because this is home for me in State College. And it's always great to see anybody who's a former player coming back on a weekend. And it's going to be our last home game this year. The season's come and gone real fast. So we'll see what's happening, Dan. I can't make any promise to you about after the game. But, you let me know when you come to State College. We'll try to hook up here and coordinate some plans. It'd be great to get together. I'd like to get plan something here for the holidays. It'd be kind of neat to get some people together. And maybe a Cove, next time he's coming to town, all of us can catch up. It'd be great. So, Dan,
I wanted to
okay, yes.
I just wanted to congratulate the defensive lineman, Nasib. Carl Nasib. He's been named as a Lombardi Award finalist. And their awards dinner is December 9th in Houston. And he's one of 4 finalists. And the first finalist from Penn State since Paul Pazlesny was a finalist in 2005 and 2006. So, definitely want to congratulate him on that. And, we appreciate all the good things he's doing for the program.
Outstanding. Absolutely. Well done. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Dan, tell us what's happening here in the fan side of things. I mean, what you got anything cooked up for this weekend?
Well, Friday after work, we're going to head up to State College. We're going to stay over in the line there. And like I said, Saturday comes, we're going to tailgate where we tailgate on my best friend's spot. Yaacov knows where it's at because he's been over there plenty of times, but I've never got to meet him over there. and it's my, like I said, it was my girlfriend's birthday Sunday, so we're going to celebrate something Saturday.
Oh, it'll be nice. That's real nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that Dan over by Tracy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
Are you guys getting together after the game too?
We do, sir. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I'll definitely have to check up on you guys. Make sure you guys are staying out of trouble.
There you go.
I'm too old to get in trouble.
Oh, no, I don't know about that, Dan. You find ways to show up at all types of places, man. I'll tell you. Don't tell me about not how to get in trouble, man. You're there. You're making it.
I guess.
But that's awesome. That's why you're Dan the fan. So we appreciate that, man. Hey, Dan, what are your thoughts here about this past game, man? What stood out to you most in your mind about this past game? Is something to remember?
I think a bit of a shock because I think we still won that game. And it was just amazing.
We'll tell you, man, time of possession was equally split. I mean, 20 yards, we're within 30 yards, a little over 30 yards between the two teams. I mean, Northwestern, did beat us in first downs. But we beat them up bad in passing yards, man. We doubled what they did. So, rushing yards, they doubled what we did, and it's kind of interesting, if you look at time of possession, you think that the team that's running the ball is going to wind up with a longer time period of possession and a team passing it. But we're pretty well equally matched there as far as time of possession goes when you look at it that way. But, at the end of the day, we had 2 turnovers. And I think those turnovers in any game, any coach will tell you that'll kill you. Northwestern did, wind up with about 5 more first downs than we did, and so that's actually hurting here. When it all comes out to it, it came down right to that end, and all it would have taken is a kid to be blocked or missed, and we'd have been in a different ballgame. And look how many other games, look how many games that last weekend were just determined right down to the end like that with overtime games. I mean, even Michigan, That was a fantastic finish. I mean, they're coming out pretty happy with that win there. But look how much that season would have changed, and the Big Ten would have changed if they would have lost. Down here at the end, you really see how it's shaping things out here for the way it's going to play out. So back at the beginning when we all started here, we all made some predictions about how things may wind up towards the end. And I don't remember any of your picks, Yaacov. I picked Ohio State to be playing Michigan State for the championship game, and I think it's still going to play out that way. Do you remember who you were picking to play it out? Did you? I think you had. Did you have? I think you picked the same, didn't you?
Yeah, actually, I felt pretty much the same. I didn't think Michigan was going to be at the level they're at so quickly. But I definitely respect Harbaugh. But they have shown a lot of signs of wobbliness. I think against actually they shouldn't be Michigan State.
Yeah.
They kind of lost that in the last minute. And obviously the overtime game with Indiana. So I definitely think they're going to be good a little sooner than I thought.
Well, that's true. That's a very good observation. I'm with you with that one. That team really, it seems like Jim Harbaugh showed up, and all of a sudden that team just was. It's been on the right direction ever since. If you're a Michigan fan, Dan, what do you think?
I don't know.
What do you think? Who did you pick at the beginning of the season? Who do you think is going to win out the Big Ten?
I would think Ohio State.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not saying going for the national championship, but I think Big Ten.
Okay. Well, we can bounce over to that. We're talking Big Ten, but yeah, who do you think is going to be in the national championship game this year, Dan?
I don't know.
Okay. What about you, Yaacov? How do you think it's going to shake down?
I mean, I'm leaning towards Ohio State, I would say, and then I think Alabama is a team. We all kind of feel has a shot, but I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know.
Well, these last few weeks are gonna tell the tale, but back at the beginning, I picked a repeat actually of last year's game with Ohio and Alabama all over again, and I still kind of think it's going to play out that way. I mean, oddly enough, I still think it can play out that way, and these next few weeks we're really going to find out here how it is going to play out. Interesting though, because I saw the Alabama loss, and in any given game, kind of like Penn State last game here with Northwestern, comes down to the very end, and you think that the team that really is better sometimes doesn't win, and that could have been the case last game with Penn State and Northwestern. I mean, it was so close, just at the very end. They wound up with the 2 points more than the field goal.
Came down to the kicker.
Yeah. So yeah. When that since that change at Penn State with the kicking game, I think they have the better of the two in right now. From my observations out there as a former kicker, I noticed back from before the season began when Yaacov and I were out there at practice. I didn't say anything at the time because we're sworn to secrecy. But now that now that that's changed, I think they have the best guy in. I think he showed himself to be consistent, and we wish him all the best. And hey, may the better guy, the bigger foot win. That's always the way it should be. But we still need some work. We still need some work on our punting game. Our punting game is really, we're struggling there. But hey, as long as we're getting the ball out of there, covering it well, that's all you can do until we get somebody back in there who can, boom that ball away 70 yards each time consistently. So. I think in the next year or two here, we're going to have some great guys coming into Penn State on the kicking side of the game. It's going to make a huge difference on the kicking game. That's looking ahead here. But again, recapping, the Northwestern game before we start looking too far ahead here. Is there any other highlights anybody wants to mention or anything they want to comment on about the game?
Well, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. What are you thinking there?
He's going to be the guy. That's unbelievable.
Well, expand upon that. Tell us, Dan.
I don't know. I don't think I can do that at 17 or 18 years old. What he's done.
Excuse me. Well, he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Go ahead.
I think it's interesting. Like, we're 7-3, and Northwestern's actually 7-2. When you look at the records, we're very close.
Yeah.
But Northwestern is ranked 20th. We're not ranked. So, I think that's something that's interesting because, we're close, but we're not all the way there. Because basically we had the lead, and we had an opportunity with our defense. If we would have got a stop, we would have won the game.
Absolutely.
And we let up. We came back. We were down 2 scores, so that says a lot. 20-7 at one time. We're close. I would say we're close. And I think this Michigan game is definitely a game I feel we can win. I think the Ohio State game. We were optimistic, but I think we knew that Ohio State was at an elite level. But Michigan is good, but I definitely feel like this is a game that we can beat more so than Ohio State. So I just hope we learn from Northwestern because we did have a 1-point lead with at least a minute, under 2 minutes in the game, we had at least a 1-point lead. And, if we had it, like I'm sure when you were there, Skip, you guys had it, where when you had a lead, you were going to win. And I think we got to learn from that, and I think we will learn from that. And, I think it's another step, a growing process, for the program. We had a nationally ranked team. We were beating them, and all we needed to do was get a stop. And really, you can't ask for a better circumstance, for where we're at right now. So, I just hope we learn from that, and I hope that positions us for this Michigan game.
Yeah, and I think you brought up also another good point that I think should be touched upon. You're right. Penn State played Northwestern exceptionally well. They are ranked, and we should be too. Penn State's played some tough games. They've played some tough teams. They've hung in with everybody, and I think that says a lot about Penn State. And I don't think they've been necessarily fair in the way they're ranking us. Here we are, this close to almost beating Northwestern at the very end, and they're ranked and we're not. I think somebody needs to start taking a look at Penn State and how we're doing. Actually, I think we just got a call in here from another fan here. We got, is that you, Eric? Hello, Eric? Are you there? Or is that Dan?
I'm here.
Okay, Dan's here. Okay.
Yep.
But actually, I thought I sent out an invitation here because we had another fan here, Eric, who wanted to jump in with us. I sent him an invite, but he just got home. Maybe he'll join us here before we finish up tonight. So, but I think we need to find out what's going on with this ranking system here because Penn State definitely deserves to be ranked. Look at the schedule. We've had some easy games, but the games that we played tough teams who are ranked, we've done well, almost have won. So I think we need to be up there with them. I think we're right there. Maybe 1 or 2 behind Northwestern. because we hung right with them right to the end. That's my thoughts. My thoughts. For what it's worth, those 2 cents. They won't buy you much today, but you pick up an extra.
I agree. I mean, I think we're close, and from our recruiting and from the things that are happening with the program, it's looking good, and I think that's something we definitely gotta be thankful for. And, we'll see what happens with Hackenberg. I think that's going to be a big, that's going to be a big factor. Is there any more thoughts on that? I mean, it sounds like people have been questioning him if this is going to be his last game at Beaver Stadium. It sounds like he's not really focusing on that. So, are we ready for him to leave?
Well, that's a question. I mean, that's really the question of the week here. It really is. And if you think about it, it puts a lot of pressure upon him. I don't know if it's fair. Excuse me. I don't think it's fair to press it on him like this. To let the guy go to school, let him play his game. It's a tough decision. I mean, here's a kid who's possibly could be drafted in the NFL. Pretty much economically be set for life, going high in the draft. And he has to make a decision. Does he finish his education? Does he stay at Penn State, run the risk of being injured and maybe not ever going in a draft? Who knows? These are tough things that families have to sit down and talk about. They got to sit down with coaches and talk about. And here's the media pressing the kid, and they're coming into the last home game, one of the biggest games of the year against a tough team. It's not fair to put that upon a kid like that and try to ask him those questions. It's going to be hard too because if you put yourself in his position, here he is. He's known all these guys. Does he stay? Does he go? If he doesn't line up there with those guys for his final farewell as a senior, he'll never have that opportunity again. Maybe after this game, he and his family and the coach say, hey, you know what? You never have another opportunity in NFL like you have right now. Maybe you should take it. Next year he's not going to be able to come out there and walk out in the field with the seniors. I mean, these are emotional and tough decisions for a player to make. You throw in all the classes you got to take while you're here at Penn State, all the time you're spending training, and all the time he has to spend in film studying. Man, that's a real volatile mix to try to put on a person. That's just what I'm thinking. I don't think it's fair for them to be doing that to the guy. But that's the media today. The media is, I think, somewhat reckless and careless in the way they do a lot of things. That's just one example of it.
I mean, do you think we're ready for him to leave, though? What are your guys' thoughts? I mean, if we don't have to spend a whole lot of time, but I'm just saying that if he ends up leaving, are we going to be able to? How are we going to deal with that?
Well, there's always the backup that's coming in, right? Hey, stand back.
Yeah.
Well, there's always guys who are being recruited. There's always people in the mix. There's always going to be somebody who wants to play. But he is that. He's an exceptional athlete, and hopefully the guys behind him, like in the kicking game, they're close. They're playing hard. They're playing well, and somebody's always going to be there because that's the way it goes. But hey, you know what? I know somebody else who wants to chime in. So we got Eric who's chiming in here with us tonight as well. So glad to have you along here with us, Eric. Glad you could join us. Welcome to Lions Live. And you've probably been listening along here. You probably have a lot of thoughts and a lot of listeners. So I'm going to send it off to you.
How you doing, guys? Glad to be here.
Hey, glad you could join us. We're talking a little bit about possibly leaving, and let me guess, I can tell you're home here and your family's listening with you as well tonight, right?
Oh, no, I'm not. That's not on my end. Actually, I'm kid-free tonight. Eric Harold! Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, you guys know one another. Okay.
Yaacov, this is my best friend, Eric Harold, buddy.
Oh, nice. Pleasure to talk to you, Yaacov. How you doing? You too, man. Doing good, man. I always go through football. Oh, man, we talking all day, every day.
That's awesome. That's kind of how I first got to meet Eric. He was out there online. I'm always making some crazy comments, and we get twisted and tangled, and sometimes we understand others, sometimes we don't. And I'm always really good at putting my foot in my mouth sometimes too, or should I say, twisted and tangling my fingers on the keyboard. But I mentioned him here joining us tonight. I'm really glad he could come on board with us. And Eric, I look forward to hearing your perspective. We got Dan the fan here; he's been on with us already. But you're obviously a diehard Penn State football fan, and you've seen a lot of things happen in this year. You've heard us commenting anything from bowl games to rankings to Hackenberg. Where do you want to jump in? What are your thoughts on some of these things?
Well, I'll come in on the last part where whether or not Hack leaves. I think that's a tough decision for him, and it's something that obviously is on all our minds. But whether he stays or goes, honestly, I think we're in great shape. I kind of came in the conversation late. And caught the part of where we stand if he does decide to leave or when he leaves. I think we're in great shape with McSorley, and that Jake Zinbeck coming in seems to really have a good head on his shoulders. Granted he's going to have to take a red shirt or two, but either way, I think we're in really good shape quarterback wise. Right. Down the road.
Well, and that's a good point, Eric, because all along we've been mentioning throughout this year, throughout the show, that the offense Penn State's running right now really isn't the match for a Hackenberg as far as his abilities. I mean, he is an NFL quarterback, drop back pass type of guy. That's where he was recruited for that type of a system when Coach O'Brien was here, and now these other guys. As Coach Franklin's out there recruiting for the type of people that fits well in his offensive scheme, these other guys are going to be reared up, ready to go within that system, and I think they're going to play well.
Yeah, I agree. I love Hack. First of all, let me say that before anything. I'm a diehard Hack fan. I love the guy. I love what he's done for the program. His commitment to the program. But you're right. He's kind of been in a bad situation for himself. And just looking down the road, I'm hyped up to see McSorley and see what Tommy Stevens and Zindiak can do with the Franklin offense. I think they're much better suited to run that type of offense that they actually want.
Point well taken. And what I actually kind of hope would happen, I'd like to see this happen. I'd like to see the O'Brien-Hackenberg mix come together again out in Texas, because I think Hackenberg, if Coach O'Brien had the opportunity to draft him, would do so. He's his boy, and I think that could actually be a real turnaround to the Texans on the NFL side of the game. They won last time I was watching the Texans, but I think Hackenberg would fit in great there. And what we got as Penn State fans, even as former players, we got to pat this kid on the back, because he was caught up in the middle of something that's really radically changed everything for him in his future for football. He was recruited by a coach for the type of offense he had. He did the best he could, and he came as a freshman, was outstanding playing that type of offense. And all of a sudden, Coach O'Brien goes, new coach comes in, new type of offense. He had to learn all over again, a whole new offensive scheme and system, making the best of it, while Penn State's struggling to try to find guys on up front to protect him. And he's made the best of this, and he's been a leader through the whole thing. He has guys from freshmen through seniors looking at him. Hey, you're a quarterback. As a quarterback, you're always looking to try to take a lead out there in the field with the team. So hats off to the guy, and he's really a selfless leader and a selfless player. And really, any coach in the NFL would want to have a guy like that on his team, because he's dedicated to the team and not so much to himself. And you don't see that a lot today. And Yaacov, you could comment to this in the NFL side of things. A lot of guys out there in the NFL are all about themselves when they get to that point. They're not so much about the team. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's probably what we see mostly out there on the NFL side. Am I right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, Skip. And I was just going to kind of add on. Franklin, he had his transcript yesterday, and he made a comment, and I think it's interesting because sometimes we kind of, I think we all know we're in a situation, but really, can any other school could say this? He said we've had 5 different head coaches in 27 months. We've had sanctions, we've had the bowl, we've had loss of coaches, and then we've also had loss of personnel and teammates. I mean, pretty much everything that could go wrong with the football program, we've kind of been going through that. So, I definitely think, it's a lot of good things to be said, for where we're at, and like, we mentioned earlier about the quarterback situation, being solid. I mean, I'm very thankful. I feel like, we've survived this, and I think that says a lot about our program, about our fans, and and we're on the up, so it was just something I just thought was interesting that we probably just went through one of the worst times in college football history. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, Eric, what are you thinking on that one?
Without a doubt, and being in social media, being a face in social media, I honestly, I've been fighting wins all season long. I've been arguing people over wins. People are disgusted with a win that's only the 20 to 16 win over Army was we might as well have lost as far as social media was concerned, and that, as frustrating as that is, that speaks of where we're at as a program. Our fans, our alumni, we expect to win. And considering everything we've been through, I mean, that says a lot about us right now, as far as the direction we are as a program.
Well said.
And I think that's a great point. And I would question how many other programs could go through what we've been through and actually still be in this type of condition, because I think we've all figured out a way to come together and stick together. And I don't know if all the other programs could do that. I think other programs might have been in worse, they might have worse outcomes than we have, given the circumstances.
Well, look at Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Or Michigan, and that's without sanctions. Those big programs, they're trying to come back right now, and then they haven't been through anything that our guys have, that our program has.
Oh, yeah. That's a great point.
Absolutely. Well, especially
I mean, no, go ahead.
Yaacov and Skip, aside from the sanctions end of it, we lost the coach. We lost Joe. And that alone is enough to bring a program to its knees, and it never happened,
Right. Mm-hmm. And in mid-season, well, not mid-season, towards the end of the season, here's the head coach gone. You guys got to keep playing. Then it's shake and bake here. I mean, sanctions, shake and bake. Players aren't sure. Hey, should I stay? Should I go? We had some guys go. Recruiting. I mean, look at how devastating it could be upon recruiting. I think the Penn State tradition, being in the foundation that the coach actually helped put in place here at Penn State, the reputation he helped build up here at Penn State, has solidified, and gave us a foundation that really, even though the earthquake came and things shook and shake and rattled, things were still standing. That tradition at Penn State's still here. It's never gone. That ethos, that warrior ethos of guys coming here and fighting it out at Penn State has never changed. And I think that's why Penn State has stuck through something like this. Because you're right. Look at these other schools. I mean, Maryland and Texas. I mean, Texas is, wow, they're hurting bad. And they didn't even have sanctions. They didn't have any of the things that we went through.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine if a school like that they could have, that's all like giving them a death penalty if they went through something like Penn State had. They would, considering where they're at right now with what they had, And what if you threw everything else into the mix, like what Penn State went through with sanctions? You're all but wiping them off the board as far as a program goes, and they're really hurting in Texas. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But their fans are similar. I've been to Texas there, and on the campus and at the school, and their fans are showing the Penn State fans, and most college fans in towns are like that. They want to see wins, and the people in Texas don't like to tolerate what I'm sure they're really hating it pretty bad right now with what they're experiencing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Dan, what are your thoughts? Maybe we lost Dan. You still there, Dan?
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm just reading the story. I'm sorry. I went to swing this weekend.
You're still focused on getting your girlfriend's birthday right?
Well, I'm looking at this story about Doug Flutie and his passing of both his parents today.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's crazy.
What happened? I fell us all in here. I haven't caught up.
Well,
yet. What's going on?
His dad Dick died in the hospital, and then like about an hour later, he passed away.
Wow.
Oh, that's a lot of attacks.
Wow, that's amazing. Condolences out there to the Flutie family. That's devastating for anybody to lose any family like that, and I'm sure they played a great role in his life growing up to be the man that he is to this day, and especially even his own their grandkids and his kids.
Yeah, I heard a story about, I don't know how true it is, but I heard a story about his pop coming over the 7 mountains and getting killed. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that one. Really?
Yeah.
Here, just right down the road here.
Yes.
How long ago?
Yeah.
This must have been some time ago.
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't hear that one. Wow. Well, Dan, you are the fan keeping on top of the latest in news and late breaking things out there in football. I haven't been able to keep up with that today. Like we were talking earlier, we all have our lives and things we got to do. And to be honest, I confess sometimes I come in here scrambling last minute trying to get this all put together and all the buttons are pushed right, called in, all the things that we need to do to make this all come together. And really, guys like yourself, you, Eric, Stefan, Yaacov calling in, you guys are the ones that help make this show great. I'm here pushing these buttons, and the content you guys bring, the perspectives and everything like that, that's what makes this show really neat. So I want to thank all of you guys for helping make the show a go on any given Wednesday night here. And, hopefully next year we'll be able to maybe expand this out, do a pregame or postgame, maybe a different night of the week or maybe a couple nights, different times. It's kind of up in the air each year how things work out here. We do have a summer program, things coming out with spring ball, and over the summer Dan, you've come out to a couple of things we've had. So we don't know where it's going to go, but the thing that really kind of makes it cool is we have such a great pool of former players who like to talk Penn State football, fans like yourself who want to talk Penn State football and other sports. They really kind of make this really a unique forum for everybody to talk Penn State football. So much thanks, guys. Just wanted to throw that out there. And we're moving ahead here. Or anybody have any thoughts here about Michigan coming up this weekend?
Michigan's coming in a little hurt right now on defense. They're in the middle, so
what do you think is the best way Penn State to exploit that?
Well, they lost their nose guard. They lost him for the season, and last game Indiana put some big yards on them in the run game. So we'll see if Saquon can get going or not. If Saquon can get going, then that might do us some real good.
That's a great observation. I think you're right on the nose with that one, Eric, because Penn State exploits the run, and it'll make the passing game that much more effective. But I think if they see their weaknesses coming into this game and can exploit that with our running game, I think Penn State could possibly come up with a win here this Saturday. It's going to be a tough game.
It should be a great game, actually. I mean, it's both teams are pretty similar as far as other than the age difference. Michigan is a very veteran team, but
and we're obviously super young. But as far as the pieces to the puzzle, I think we're pretty similar. So it should be a real good end of the season Big Ten knockout game.
Yeah, you're right. And, when they played Indiana, that was such a close game last week. And, again, I still can't understand why we're not ranked. We're playing these teams so well that are ranked. It's not – I think the media in some ways trying to still take it out on Penn State for whatever reasons or prejudice they have because, Penn State's been playing some great football. This is probably going to be one of the best games. These next two games are probably going to be the best two games for Penn State fans to be watching. Too bad Michigan State's not home. But this weekend is going to be an awesome game, and it's an early game here, a 12 o'clock kickoff for us. But you know what? The weather's been great here in State College. Let's hope it remains, with warmer temperatures like we've been having. It could be a great Saturday for some football. I think it's going to be a close game for sure. And what other thoughts do you have out there about ways Penn State could possibly pull out a win here with Michigan this weekend?
I was just going to say, to kind of piggyback on what we just said about the run defense, Michigan allowed 300 yards against Indiana. So I definitely think, that is an opportunity for us. I think us also having an off week, I think we were a little banged up throughout some of the games. So I think that off week could help us. Franklin talked about the guys got a chance to go home on the weekend and, kind of get refreshed with family. But I do think, we did lose Lucas in the secondary. So I think, that could be a weakness, that we got to figure out. I definitely think it's a senior night, it's a senior game for us. The seniors are going to be, we've been there before, Skip, and maybe some of you guys have played maybe high school ball or something, and we know how much that means. So we know the effort is going to be there. We know the last game at Beaver Stadium, the effort is going to be there. And maybe that might be what it takes for us to get the win. It's just the fact that the team is just going to play their hearts out tomorrow because it's the last game at Beaver Stadium.
Well, you're right, Yaacov, and I think a big thing is going to play a factor in this because it's inevitable for any game. Turnovers are going to make a difference in this game. I think the team with the least amount of turnovers is going to be the team that wins at the end of the day. And I personally hope Penn State can play so well that all the seniors, anybody who's been a senior or who's lasted through their senior year at Penn State, can get out there and get some time on that field this Saturday. I don't care how they get in, special teams, whatever it is they got to do. I hope Coach Franklin can get at least every single senior at least one or two snaps or whatever we can get them on the field here, because that makes a huge difference in a player's life to be able to say, you know what, I've been out there in that field. So I hope that can the game goes well enough that in some way he can find ways to get everybody on that field Saturday. Dan or Eric, any other thoughts you think it could make big differences in a game?
Well, I heard a stat. The secondary is ranked. We've got the number 2 pass defense in the country right now. And going along with what you said, losing Jordan is a big hit for us. But I think that Franklin and Shoup have done a good job of rolling into Malik Golden and Troy Apke, and I really think that using them throughout the year the way he has is going to help us now that Lucas is out. I'm honestly not taking anything away from Lucas because he's one of my favorite players. Honestly, he's been there through the whole 4 years. He's a great kid. I hated to see him go out with an injury, but I think it's going to serve us well that Golden and Apke have had plenty of time in the backfield this year. So I'm hoping that plays out, and we can manage them on the back end.
Yeah, and I would just like to add to that. I think the fact that we had the bye week, I think that even gave us more time to kind of get that in order, get that kind of ready, because we had a little more time to figure out, we have this weakness, how can we, smooth this thing out so it doesn't, come into play against Michigan.
Yeah, that bye week is helped tremendously in that aspect.
Yeah, and that's a factor in this game.
It's a shame it came so late in the year, really, because like you said, I think that first half in Northwestern, we just weren't in it. We weren't in it at all. We were just dragging feet the whole first half.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it definitely does make a difference, and that could be the biggest difference this week. Penn State has now had a week. The guys have a little bit of chance to heal. The mental preparedness as well, having more time to study film, having more time to be able to find weaknesses to exploit on both sides of the ball. That's obviously a big advantage, and I think I think Michigan benefited that from the week before as well. I think all teams benefit from having that week bye week to be able to get your guys healed up. Get the guys some more time to get individual. It's kind of a week to go back to some of the basics that you picked up at preseason and rehash that again and fine tune it a little bit. So, let's hope that plays out and to Penn State's favor this weekend. I think it's going to definitely be able to do that. That these guys will be ready to go well here for Saturday. Any other final thoughts about Michigan before we head into our picks?
I mean, I would just like to say, I'm excited. I think we're in a great position for this to happen. I think, we've tasted a win against Northwestern and we kind of let it slip. And, we got this bye week. Michigan's coming off of a wobbly win. We were actually able to watch that game. The Penn State football team was off, so they watched that Indiana-Michigan game. So, and we know what we did against Indiana. So, at senior day, I think we got a lot of good things going for us. And this would just be a wonderful time, to get it. So, I'm amped up for the Michigan game.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's head into our picks here. We're down to about our last 6-7 minutes here of our program. We always like to head into our picks, and we're heading off here this Saturday in the Big Ten. We got another 12 o'clock kickoff at Indiana and Maryland. So Eric's our first guy up here tonight. He's the latest guy that can get in here with us. So we'll let you kick it off here with some of our picks tonight. Indiana at Maryland, 12 o'clock.
I think I got to take Indiana on that one.
All right. Okay. Hey, Dan, what do you think?
Oh, Indiana all the way.
Yeah, Yaacov?
Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, I think we're all on board with that one. Then also another 12 o'clock kickoff. We have Illinois at Minnesota. That's on ESPN. It's either 2 or 3. It's on here at 12 o'clock. Illinois at Minnesota.
Minnesota's been knocking on that door. I say Minnesota comes through to win this week.
Wow, okay. It's at Minnesota, so, yeah. Dan, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Illinois.
Okay, going to the Illini way. Okay. Yaacov?
I think I think Minnesota is a tough team, but I'm a Chi-Town boy, so I gotta have a little room for my Illini, so I'm gonna go with Illinois on this one.
Yeah, I think I'm with Eric on this one. I think Minnesota's gonna at home. I think they're gonna win this one here. And we have another 12 o'clock here on the CBS network covering this one. Rutgers at Army.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going with the armed forces on this one.
There you go.
Hey, I'm with you. Hey, I'm gonna go with you on that.
Yeah. What about
Rutgers they haven't agreed on something yet. They're still kind of trying to figure out who's right and who's wrong. So I'll go with you on that. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Dan?
I'm going to take Rutgers.
Are you? Okay. I'm with you guys on Armed Forces. I think Army actually is a good team. I think Army can play some good football. And I think Rutgers, like you mentioned, Yaacov, they're still trying to figure some things out. So I think it's at Army. So I think that'll be a good game, and I think Army's going to win that one. The thing I've noticed here in the Big Ten, we have 5 games kicking off at 12 o'clock. No night games. The season's winding down here. Notice the games are starting earlier. Time changes and colder weather and all that. At 12 o'clock also on ESPN2, Purdue at Iowa. Now, that ought to be an interesting game. What do you think about that one?
I think they've gone over the hump of everyone expecting them to lose now. I'm going with Iowa all the way.
Rank number 5. Dan, what do you think?
Iowa.
Yaacov?
Yeah, Iowa. I mean, just looking at the records, like right now they got a rank 5 in the nation. They're 10-0. I mean, that is wow. That's impressive. I mean, that's amazing that they potentially could get into the playoffs.
And it's kind of wild.
I mean, we might have 2. We could have 2 Big Ten teams in the playoffs this year.
Absolutely. It'll be absolutely. And I'm on board. I think Iowa's going to win that one. But that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out here for the Big Ten championship. Who's going to be playing? And we're looking at Iowa. We're looking at Ohio State. We got Michigan State. Through those 3 teams, how's it going to shake down with those 3 teams here at the end of the year? What do you guys think?
Let me just read this to you because I know we're talking about the records. We got Ohio State and Iowa both 10-0. Michigan State 9-1, and then you got Michigan, Wisconsin, and Northwestern are all 8-2. Wow. So I mean, these last 2 weeks, could shuffle things up. It could shuffle things up. Big time.
Very well could. I mean, it'd be interesting. It's too bad that you don't have an extra week in there where you could actually have a more of a bigger playoff for the conference as well, because it'd kind of be neat if you could have a more of a playoff within the conference, then send your conference champion out for it. But it'd be great if they could do that. But I mean, we're already looking at a long season now. But it'll be Iowa is definitely a team to be contended with here, and I'm pretty sure.
I actually heard tonight that if Penn State wins out and Ohio State loses those games, Penn State's in the championship.
You're kidding me. Really?
That could be. It was hard to believe. I had to research it, but that is a scenario that is on the table still.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think that maybe?
I mean, really, when you think about it, we're 7-3. We're like the 6th best record in the Big Ten right now. You got Ohio, Michigan State 1-2. Then you got Ohio State and Iowa 1-2. Then you got Michigan State 9-1. Then you got Michigan 8-2, Wisconsin 8-2, Northwestern 8-2, and then you got Penn State at 7-3. So I mean, it'll be interesting these last 2 weeks.
Wow, it comes right down to it. It certainly is. We have a couple more games here left. 3:30 kickoff on Big Ten Network. We got Northwestern at Wisconsin. Good matchup.
Yeah. I'll go Wisconsin on that one.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Eric. I'm gonna go Wisconsin too. I just Northwestern. I don't. I haven't fully bought into them yet, so I'm gonna go with Wisconsin.
What about the hometown? Northwestern. Okay. Well, Yaacov, you know that. What about your boys out there in Northwestern, man? What about the hometown?
No, they're my low. I mean, really, Skip. I grew up about 20 minutes from Northwestern. I could almost run to Northwestern, but yeah, I've just, I don't know. Wisconsin is a little. I think they're so physical to me. I think if they get caught in that physical game, they might struggle against. Northwestern might struggle against that.
Well, that's interesting you mentioned that. And look, here's again teams, ranked. Northwestern 20, Wisconsin 20, ranked 25. But I actually am with you. I'm going to actually pick Wisconsin in this one because I think they have so many guys who are big up front, and I think that's where you win the game is with the big guys up front. And I think Northwestern's just a little bit smaller up front, and it's at Wisconsin. So I'm with you on Wisconsin on that one. And the other 3:30 kickoff, we got Michigan State at Ohio State. That's going to be a game to watch after ours, guys.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's going to be the game to watch after this one. As soon as we're done, we're flicking our TVs on, man. We're catching that game. So, what are you thinking on that?
I think Ohio State's due for a loss, and I'm taking Michigan State in that
one. Okay.
Michigan State.
Whoa,
dang, I like that. I mean, I think Ohio State, Michigan State, and that Wisconsin Northwestern, man, those are going to be some crucial games. But I think I'm going to just go ahead and ride that Ohio State wave right now.
Yeah, I'm with you, Yaacov. I mean, it'd be a huge upset, and I think if they beat Ohio State and then Penn State beats Michigan State the next week, you talk about putting it on its head, man. That would be the scenario. That'd be pretty cool. But I'm with you looking at, keeping it real, as Stefan would say. I picked Ohio State to win the Big Ten this year. I'm sticking with that. I just think they have what it takes this year to win it, and they just find ways to do it. So it's going to be a great game to watch, but I think at the end of the day, you're going to find Ohio State being the team. And it is at the shoe out there, so I think Ohio State's going to come out on top of that one. And, of course, last but not least here, our game, Penn State and Michigan, 12 o'clock here at Beaver Stadium, last home game for seniors. Eric, what's your pick?
Penn State, 24-21.
Okay. Dan, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Penn State, but I'm thinking like by 10 to 14 points.
Wow. Okay.
I'm thinking a big game this weekend.
Are you putting money on these numbers?
How about dinner?
Man, that's quite a spread, buddy. That's a huge spread, man. I'll tell you, I know a bunch of guys who want to put money down.
I think Barkley's going to have a big game, and I think the seniors are going to have a good game too.
Okay, that's pretty well.
Yeah, something I want to see because I think as much as I love the offense, I love the defense, and I want a big play.
Okay, so you think it's going to be have some breakout plays, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, right out.
All right, and Yaacov, what are you thinking?
I'm definitely on Penn State. I'm kind of thinking like this is going to be a real conservative game, so I'm thinking it's going to be, 20 points or less, but I don't know. I can't name the spread, but I think the teams are going to be 20s or less, I would say.
Okay.
But I got Penn State, though. I got Penn State.
Okay. Now, I love all you guys, and I love Penn State. And as a big dude say, Skip, man, you keep it real. I think it's going to be one of the best games to watch this year. And I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be tit for tat right down to the very, very end. Okay, just like the week before with Wisconsin. But at the end of the day, though, I think Michigan's going to somehow squeak it out. And I hate it. But I look at the history of this game between Michigan. Any of the Michigan teams, there's like this curse that comes upon us here at Penn State. I don't know why it is. When we go there, they come here. We get in those games, and they just find this way to always beat us. I can't stand it. But I think it's going to happen again, man. And I hate it. And I hate to say it that way, man. But I'm going to keep it real. I think Michigan is going to somehow squeak this thing out on us. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm keeping it real, man. I think that's where we're at on this one. Let's see what. Let's.
Yeah, I know what you mean with that curse, Skip. I know what you mean.
You've been here. You played through it, man. Every year.
I think we went on like a 10-year drought, I think, or something along those lines against Michigan. There was a time where, it was just year after year after year.
It kills us every stinking year, man. I mean, I'm here already pull my hair out. I mean, I get mad. I'm like, man, why do we always struggle with these stinking Michigan teams, man? I think we have what it takes. Yeah. We got these guys. We have the talent. I want to jump in the locker and say, let's do it. We got to beat these guys. I want to win. But daggum, man, I don't know what it is. There's something like a curse or a cloud that hangs over us with these teams. Every time, we've had some of the longest overtime games in the history of football with Michigan. And at the stinking end, these jokers somehow come out winning, and I'm tired of it. I hope it doesn't happen, but I hope it doesn't happen. But somehow, I don't know why. I just think this one, we for whatever reason, I don't think we're going to get it. And I'm even going to venture ahead. I think the following week, I don't think we're going to have what it takes with. I'm picking it ahead. I don't think we're going to have what it has next week either, man. I'd like to see us do it. Yeah. I'd love to see a scenario. Here's the scenario I'd love to see happen. I'd love to see Michigan State beat Ohio State. Okay. And the next week, we beat Michigan this week, and then we go to Michigan State, and we beat them the following week. That would be the ideal scenario for Penn State football, and I'd love to see it happen. But in reality, at the end of the day, keeping it real, I just don't think it's going to happen. But we're going to go to a good bowl game. I know we're probably going to be in a New Year's Day game, and I think it'll be a good one. I don't know if it's going to be one of the primetime games, but we're definitely going to get, I think, a New Year's game. At least we should. Again, if we don't, there's something wrong because we played all these teams. And we need to get there, and we need to make it happen. But we'll get there. So we're over time, guys. Any final thoughts quick before we sign off here tonight?
Sure. I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
We'll be back here next week, Dan. Don't worry, we'll be back here next Wednesday. We'll give a recap. Did you jump on the gun? You're already buying for Black Friday ahead of time, aren't you?
In case I can't make it.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Hey, well, Eric, I really want to thank you for joining us here tonight, man. We hope to have you back here anytime. You're always welcome. Give us a shout. Glad to have you here with us tonight. I thought about you in here. I wanted to jump you in, so glad you could join us as well.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Skip. I really do, man. And it'd be an honor to come back on here and talk some Penn State football with you guys.
Well, we'll do it all again, and maybe we'll catch you guys there. If you see us at the game or somewhere, get a hold of me. I'll be there. I can take you guys on up to the lounge, and we'll show you around up there at the lounge over halftime or something like that, or during the game. I plan on being there myself on the sidelines. You'll catch me down there. You can text me, whatever. Maybe I catch you. I'll take you on in the lounge, see who's around. You can maybe meet some folks. It'd be great to have you guys, as always. And Yaacov, are you going to be making it up this weekend?
Yes, I'll be there. And, I just wanted to thank Eric and Dan. It was a great time with you guys. It was nice to meet you, Eric. And Dan, hopefully I'll catch you after the game. Maybe we can toast to one, and hopefully, Skip, I'll get a chance to catch up with you too, and Eric. One of these times, are you in the area, Eric, or where are you at? No, I'm a Virginia. I'm in Virginia. Aren't you a Virginia guy, man? Oh, well, I'm Chicago, but I live kind of by like Bucknell, Swimmington. Okay. Yeah, over that way. Yeah, that's where I'm at. All right, yeah. No, I'm Virginia, but I'm from Penn State, so I make my way up there quite often, man. I'd love to meet you. Definitely. That would be good. That would be nice. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was a great time, though, Skip. Always a pleasure with you, Skip.
Well, we'll do it again next week, folks. Join us again here on Lines Live, the only network built by the players for the fans. So please join us again next week. Y'all have a great weekend. Let's go Penn State, beat Michigan. Have a great night, folks. Lord bless. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Laser today on 3 themes. or three acts of leadership from Barack Obama, John Kerry, and Hillary Clinton. Because we can't forget the woman who would be president. We know about Obama's dreadful speech from Turkey, the disgraceful refusal to stand with Israel, and maintaining his insistence on maintaining our current strategy with ISIS. Hey, I got a newsflash for you, Mr. President. It ain't working. Your strategy is not particularly successful. And I'm focused like a laser on John Kerry. This is incredible to consider Kerry thinking there's a rationale behind the Charlie Hebdo massacre, but not the massacre at the theater and the restaurant the other night. Listen to cut number 11. This is audio courtesy of Politico. I swear to you, this is not an impersonator. This is not somebody pretending to be John Kerry. These are actually words that came out of the mouth of our Secretary of State.
There's something different about what happened from Charlie Hebdo, and I think everybody would feel that. There was a sort of particularized focus and perhaps even a legitimacy in terms of, not a legitimacy, but a rationale that you could attach yourself to somehow and say, okay, they're really angry because of this or that.
I mean, I don't mean to laugh, but I'm pulling my hair out. Where this guy says, well, there was kind of a rationale for this or that, but there was no rationale for this past weekend in Paris. Yes, there was. These animals want to kill the infidels. They want everybody to convert to Islam, and they want to attack